Chapter 446. Yiddir reached out to caress Kishir's cheek, as if guided by his emotions. The man caught Yiddir's wrist and buried his face in the palm of Yiddir's hand. Lips that grazed the cheek hesitated for a moment when they touched the tip of a thin glove, but soon parted to nibble lightly on the fabric's edge. The moment a small piece of cloth fell to the floor, the flickering emotions in Yiddir's eyes revealed themselves as dark as night, but remarkably clear. With a defiant grin, Kishir kissed the revealed fingers and the crimson stains that had randomly colored his knuckles. Yiddir could vividly feel through his own skin, lips filled with intense desire and joy tracing a curvaceous line upwards. In a moment of unintended reflex, Yiddir's hand clenched and a wave of warmth rushed from the depths of his belly. Yiddir hastily pressed his lips back onto the lips of the man holding his hand. Kishir gladly received the kiss, steadying Yiddir to prevent him from falling forward. Their lips eventually parted amidst heavy breaths, and an alluring, excited voice flowed out. "Tell me more." "Anything is good, just more." As if enchanted by that call, Yiddir knelt in front of Kishir and rested his forehead against the man's tightly embraced shoulder. "I don't know how this connection between Commander and myself came to be. What power it holds, I also don't know. You said you can't remember the dreams. Perhaps someday, through that, you will come to know more. Are you afraid of it?" Yiddir remained silent, forehead still resting on the shoulder, then responded with a barely audible voice. "If it was before, I would have said no, but now I'm afraid." "Shall we find a way to sever it?" The counter question momentarily halted Yiddir's breath. "Would it alleviate your fear a little if I swear never to look for any more information about this bond between us?" Kishir would find a way to sever the unseen bond, and he swore not to dig any deeper concerning Yiddir. It was an irresistibly sweet offer, yet Yiddir couldn't bring himself to reply. He knew Kishir would keep that promise the moment he nodded, but Yiddir also knew better than anyone that all his fears wouldn't simply vanish by agreeing. The secrets that twisted the thorny fruit peels within Yiddir ale would never disappear as long as he lived. Every time he looked at Kishir while living this life, they would without fail scream and leap. Such was the price for being so deeply enamored with the presence before him. "No." Drawing in the unique scent emanating from Kishir's sturdy nape, Yiddir reiterated, "It won't be." "That's difficult," Kishir chuckled as he stroked Yiddir's back. Yiddir felt that touch, kept silent for a moment, then spoke. "Yudrian was my name. I had thought it seemed like some sort of title. Whoever gave it to you chose well." "Do you think so?" Even those well-versed in gore had to consult their books to understand the complicated grammar involved. Clearly, a lot of effort had gone into it. "The name seems as if it was given more thought than even the one I gave to Nathan. Wouldn't you say it's a good name?" At this point, neither the name Nathan Zuckerman nor Yudrian could be credited solely to him. Instead of answering, Yiddir let out a long sigh. "To be honest, I never fully understood the meaning of that name, but I think the meaning you have shared is probably correct." "You mean the one who named you didn't tell you the meaning?" "He might have, but I really don't know." He hoped that Kishir wouldn't detect the emotion hidden beneath his parched voice. "Well, it's better to know than not, I suppose." Kishir didn't ask who had given Yiddir the name or why Yiddir didn't know its meaning. Instead, he gently pressed his lips to Yiddir's hand and cheek again, as if encouraging him to say more. Though you may already suspect, the diary of the first Duke Tane that Enon wished to read was something I wanted to know about first. The moment I heard the section you read yesterday, it felt like it might be connected to questions I had, which is why I discussed it with him. If we can find out where the cursed ones come from, perhaps time that doesn't flow in rivers could also be on our side. Kishi recited the section he had read before. You mean the ambitious research goal of finding out where the monsters come from? That's the part of it, but it's mainly about the reference to time. While Yidr hesitated about how to articulate his thoughts, Kishir muttered something as he gently stroked the back of Yidr's head. To me, it looked like just one of many historically interesting concepts. But if it means more to my assistant, there must be a reason. If it's too difficult to say, you don't have to. Is there anything else I should do besides giving that to Anon tomorrow? No. That's a shame. As he spoke, Kishir again brushed his lips past Yidr's ear, leaving a light kiss. A small laugh escaped Kishir's lips as Yidr's grip tightened on his clothing. The hand stroking Yidr's hair became softer, more tender. This sensation prompted a new thought, a new impulse in Yidr. Do you think, Commander, that time could ever be on someone's side? While there are plenty of sayings about time favoring the patient, that's probably not what the diary meant. Taking it at face value, I don't think it's possible. If it were, countless mages would have already bent time to their will. His answer was reasonable and within expected parameters. No one in history had successfully manipulated time with magic, not even the Archmage Luma. Time was impartial to all, and everything in existence went through rises and falls before dissipating into the wind. No matter how powerful or influential, no one could escape this absolute rule. Yet, for Yidr, time had indeed flowed backward. What would Kishir think when he eventually arrived at that conclusion? What would his expression be? What words would he speak? Though Yidr couldn't know now, he hoped that he would still be by Kishir's side when the time came. To continue in the same vein as before would not suffice. To ensure that Kishir's long patience had not been in vain, Yidr too needed to strive to find tangible proof of the truth, worthy of the faith bestowed upon him. As Yidr's thoughts began to diverge from what they had been, becoming something a bit different and more far-reaching, another voice broke his reverie. However, I'm not so sure about the present era. Almost involuntarily, he looked up, his eyes meeting Kishir's deep red gaze, which softened tenderly. Isn't this the time when the age of mages wane and the age of awakeners rises? Much like 1,000 years ago, when it was openly said that the era of priests was fading and the age of mages was dawning? This was new information. When Yidr blinked in surprise, Kishir explained the source. It was written in the diary. Just like back then, anything could happen in this era. So think carefully about what I said today. ... The responsibility of pondering and judging lies with the listener, not the one who has spoken. I will think it through and come up with my own conclusions. Then it will be your job to tell me whether I'm right or wrong. Smiling as if to ask, is this good enough? The man changed the overwhelming sense of impending rupture, which had been a blend of Kishir's unique scent and the solidity enveloping him, into different emotions entirely. Yidr could no longer resist the urge to be closer to the being in front of him. Wrapping his arms around Kishir's neck, their lips met again. Just before either could slump off his chair, Kishore caught him and stood, making further conversation impossible.